What's up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Barbecue, and I made some chicken parmesan a while back using Emeril Lagasse's recipe, which I'm going to be using here. And I had a subscriber ask me how it would work in the Actifry, so that's what we're going to be doing today. We are going to be using our Actifry. So, very simple ingredients. I'm going to bring you guys in so you can take a look at the ingredients, and then we'll get cooking. We're going to be using, I have some breadcrumbs. We have flour, and what this is some homemade essence of emerald. I'm going to go ahead and leave that recipe in the description below, but I'm going to go ahead and hit some of our flour up with some of that. We have some mozzarella cheese, some 2 eggs that are whisked up, and what I did with this chicken was I went ahead and cut it in half and then cut it in half. We're going to pound that out. I have some olive oil. And then I thought I had some real good Parmesan cheese, but we're going to be just using this Parmigiana Romano cheese as well. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this started with beating our chicken out. What I'll do is use a Ziploc bag, and what I'll do is put the chicken in there, and then I will beat it with the flat side of the mallet. And we don't want to beat it to death. We don't want to beat it like it stole something. We want to beat it like it's thinking about stealing something. Alright, that looks about like what I want. We're about that thin. We're going to set that aside. Now we're going to go ahead and get it floured up. Before we get them floured up, I'm going to go ahead and hit them with some of this homemade essence of emerald, just to give it a little more depth of flavor. So what I've done was I did mix in some of that seasoning into the flour we had earlier, and basically we're just going to dredge it and make sure that everything is coated. We're just going to set them aside. Just going to take the chicken, dip it in the egg wash, bread it up, make sure it's coated evenly, and we're just going to set it aside. During this cooking the Actifry, we're going to go ahead and take the paddle out. We're not going to be using the paddle in this, and now we're going to hit it with some oil, and this is going to be about a tablespoon of oil. I'm going to shut it and I'm going to turn it on and let it heat up for about 5 minutes. It's done about 5 minutes and it should be pretty hot by now. And actually looking at the oil in there, it looks like I have about a tablespoon and a half in there, which is fine. So we're just going to go ahead and lay our chicken in. We're going to go ahead and let this run for about another 5 minutes, and then we'll flip it. About 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and check and see how they're doing. They could stand to be a little bit browner. This back end of the Actifry does get a little bit hotter, so we're just going to kind of spin these around. And you know what? I am going to go ahead and hit them with a little bit more olive oil on top. Just a little bit, and then we're going to let it go for about 3 more minutes and check on them again. Now it's been about 3 minutes since we last checked them. Judging upon the way they looked earlier, they should be fine, so we're going to go ahead and flip these over. We're going to let these go probably for about closer to 8 or 10 minutes. Okay, we've gone about another 5 minutes. It looks like our chicken is right where we want it. I'm going to go ahead and hit it with some marinara sauce. This is just a little marinara sauce that I whipped together a while back. It's nothing special. Alright, so we got that on there. Now we're just going to go ahead and hit it with some of this mozzarella cheese. You know what, you can't have too much. Let's go ahead and add that. And then we're just going to top this with some of this Parmigiana Romano. And we're just going to let this go until the cheese gets melted down, And hopefully, I haven't done this in the Actifry yet, but hopefully it's going to get a nice little brown crust on it. So this looks like it is a wrap. We got a little brownage on the cheese. We're going to go ahead and, actually we're going to go ahead and throw a little bit of this marinara sauce on the plate. And then we're going to put our chicken on top of it. Then we're going to go ahead and dive in for the taste test. So we made this chicken parmesan in a skillet the normal way. Let's see how the Actifry did. I have to say that's a winner too. If you own an Actifry or any air fryer, knock this recipe out. I'm telling you, this is good. Anyway, I'm going to get to eating this. Thanks for stopping by No Hippie Barbecue. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.